Hello everyone, and welcome back to AOR League races. So then this of course is just qualifying, not a league race unfortunately. That video will be up very soon. Now it's been quite some time, a bit of an understatement, since my last video. A couple of things have been going on in my life. You'd know that if you've been following me on Twitter, or if you are following me on Twitter rather. But anyway, we're back now then, so yes, I can see absolutely full wet qualifying at Spa, so it should be an interesting one. Feeling good, feel like we've got good pace definitely. And as I said, this is just a qualifying video, and I do really like this format, so this format will be staying for now at least. And yes, race coming up probably tomorrow, I'm thinking. So this is the first lap then. As usual, I'll show you all of my qualifying laps for Spa. I've got enough fuel for 2 laps as well. So this first lap will be more of a side turn. Of course, I've not practiced it at all in the wet. So this is effectively my, well, it's my second lap in the wet, obviously, considering that there was an out lap. This is my first flying lap in the wet, and missed my apex a bit there, out on the curb as well. I don't want to be doing that. Not a great first corner, but not too bad either. A bit of curves there as well on the exit, up for a rouge now, which will probably still be flat even in full wet conditions. Let's have a look. And, well yeah, still easy flat. And over 300 kilometers now then, using a bit of curves at the top of the hill there just to help my speed a little bit. No DRS of course in the full wet conditions. And still almost in the rev limiter then, so quite long gears, but still pretty much the rev limiter then, braking pretty late. Down second, take a nice lot of curb. And it's not been an amazing lap so far, but I just want to get some sort of half decent lap in. I don't want to push too hard and lock a wheel, and that'll be the end of this lap. I need to try and get some sort of lap in turn very early there, just to make sure I could get into the corner. And there's a Lotus ahead, hopefully he gets nicely out of our way. Taking lots of curb there, both inside and outside, and he does get miles out of the way, so fair play to him. Genesis, I believe he's a new driver for this race. And also this video is quite some time, pretty sweet corner then, this video is quite some time after I've raced the race, so obviously I've still been racing while I've not been producing videos, so it's quite some time ago as well, so I probably won't be able to remember much of it. And a little bit wide there, never quite touched the apex, that's not good. You want to either get an early or late apex, and very wide actually off the track, but that was just purely because straight in the wheel early. Oh, way too early on the throttle there, almost in the gravel, managed to avoid it just about. That's going to compromise my speed all the way down here. I'm still going to use the rest of my curves just in case my next lap is even worse. But there's certainly room for quite large improvements, isn't there, on this lap, that's for sure. Made a pretty average lap. So usually I'm pretty good in the wet as well. I usually adapt very quickly to wet conditions, so hopefully I'll be able to get a very good result, but we'll see. And just guessing where to brake there, really. Of course, still want to again lock a tyre. Even though I'm running 50-50, I am running high large brakes, so we'll see the setup in a minute. And here we go then, so this is the first lap at 53.1 then. And we're of course now going to crack on with our next lap. Braking pretty late there. Still managed to get it right into the apex, that was nice. A little bit wider than I'd like again. I'm going to try and avoid the curb on the exit there, but not too bad. And ahead of What and Genesis at least. I think What's another new driver. And Granny also, he's behind me. To 7th, using a bit more curves, so I'm going to run down to a rouge this time. And still a little bit of curves at the top, just to try and help the revs a little bit. And I wonder what top speed is, about 200 miles an hour. Over 320 kilometers an hour in full wet conditions. And over 10th up then, purple fast for anyone. Uma's also going slower than me, so this is looking good. Much better speed through that section. And much sweeter there, almost cut the corner, but just keep it nice and tight. That's what I always like to do. And actually, Mini Black's managed to qualify me there, so fair play. And I believe he's beat me by about 10th. There we go, yes, about half a tenth. In fact, not a lot, but a little bit of wisp on the exit there, but we get away with that. Get it turned in nice and early, hard on the power on the exit. And we run down to P1 then. A little bit of touching curve, don't want to be doing that. Push me a little bit wide, but we'll get away with that. Oh, off the track though. That wasn't great at all. Definitely lost at least a tenth through there. Wide and wide on the exit. Missed my apex and wide on the exit. Much better through here. Look at that. Right on my apex. Not a great line though for the second part. Almost pushes me wide, but I get away with it. Down to second. Just clip the curve inside. Much better exit that time. Much better. And half a second up on my previous end. 4 tenths up on Mini Black. And it should be a much better final sector with that better exit as well. So I'm looking at probably about 6 tenths up, I'd say, if I can nail this final chicane. And of course, Qualy on this corner is absolutely flat easy as well. And so hopefully I can absolutely nail this final chicane. Braking pretty late there, right down to first, get all slowed down nicely. That was pretty sweet. Squirt throttle between the corners, get it turned nicely on the power again for the exit. This should definitely be an improved lap, definitely improved. And what is it? Yes, over 6.5 tenths, then half a second up on anyone else. So I'll take that, lots of swerving there to try and get my rear tyres warmed up a bit more. And I should now, hopefully, just backing out of it there to make sure, I should now get 2 laps in. But I was close to getting 3 laps in, which of course I haven't got enough fuel to do. I don't want to do any laps, so that's why I was going extra slow there. So here we go then, first lap, braking pretty late there, right down to first gear, get it all turned in, a little bit wide, missed my apex. Should be a better exit though, because I avoid the curb. So probably we'll still lose a bit, but hopefully not quite so much as it could have been. I think they use even more curves there and then went down to a rouge. And just trying to minimise drag through here, turn the wheel as little as possible. And I didn't use any curves at the top of a rouge there. If I did, it's very, very little. And I expect it will be down, but hopefully less than a tenth, then I can hopefully recover that there with that. But I'm actually up. 200's up, then we've missed my apex, so definitely time to be had in that first corner. Like I said, I got one more lap after this one. And that was a good line through there, but not great speed. That was a nice lot of speed through there, though. Touching the grass on the exit. And, oh no, too deep, though. Too deep. That's cost me a lot of time. It's cost me, and lots of wheel spin on the exit as well for good measure. It's cost me a good few tenths, that has. So not great. Not great at all. And I expect this lap will now be down unless I can absolutely nail these next couple of corners. And not great line through there. On the grass is okay, but you need to take a much later apex than I did there. Turned in too early, sorry. So I expect this will be down. We'll find out. I'm still pushing for now, even though I've made a few mistakes. You know, you never know. The crack track could be drying up. There could be more grip, so still pushing to try and improve my time. That was a better corner through there as well. I think I nail that now, and yet 10th and a half down, so I lost 2 tenths in that middle sector. No surprise, and I expect I'll back over it now, which I do indeed. Not using any curves, so just making sure my tyres are nice enough to temperature ready for this next lap. Doing a little bit of swerving there. Slowing it down because I've realised now that the timer, of course, like I said, I don't want to do an in-lap. So I've realised now that the timer there, it might even allow me to do 2 laps. So I'm just backing out of it nicely, trying not to block the car behind there. Still a little bit of a gap to him. And a not great line through here though in the end, because I was trying to do that too much. Trying to get a good exit, bit of, that wasn't great there though, definitely pretty poor exit in fact. We'll get away with that though. And I will now just get one more lap and then so come to the first corner and then braking and oh no, I've locked both tyres. No, I've locked both front tyres. Popping it in reverse there to make sure I don't hit the wall. And that's my qualifying session over then. P1 at the moment, but no. Down to P3 then. 2.5 tenths down. And I studied my sector times. And for sure, if I put my best sector times together, I could have beaten Uma there. And definitely more time in the bag, but just couldn't get it together there. Fair play. So that's what wet qualifying is all about. And here we go then. There's my sector times. So yeah, definitely not best qualifier for me, but I'll take it anyway. So here's my setup then. 1-1 wing, so I'm obviously completely not ideal for the wet weather, but it should help me in, I think it's a dry race. 50-50 high large brakes as already mentioned. And balance 111 then, pretty standard, almost always use that in all the races. Suspension, this is the key one really. This track it's 11-1-1-1, no doubt about that. 11-1 helps you so much, it gives you probably half a second or something ridiculous. A lot of time, and then 1-1 I like. And gear ratio is a little bit like that. And also the standard full left camber, full right toe. Pretty standard stuff really. So we'll come now into the slow-mo version of that best lap, which is my second lap of course. So I will now just set my first lap. There we go, 53.1. So coming to the first corner then. Should be interesting to see how late I brake. And that was pretty much as late as I did in my final lap, but obviously just a little bit more brutal with the brakes on my final lap. I actually probably turned in a bit early, which is what pushed me a bit wider than I'd liked on the exit here. You want to try and avoid the curb, which is how I managed to gain time, even though I nailed the apex that time. You need to try and keep it straighter a bit longer and just turn it a little bit later to try and get a good exit. And using quite a bit of curves now. Half my curves, I think. Yep, just over half my curves. And of course up through the gears now on the way down to a rouge. Just shifting up to 7th before, I believe. Yep, of course trying not to cut this corner. This is a corner. Also obviously up through a rouge, trying not to cut, but just trying to turn the wheel as little as physically possible. Just turn it as just the tiniest bit if you can. And that's the key to minimising drag. And I missed it there. I think I might use a bit of curves at the top, but I didn't actually see that. It's absolute full throttle, of course. Like I said, I'm almost in the rev limiter amazingly in the wet. You see the on the wheel there, the revs building up, and now they're full on the wheel, but still another couple of revs to go. And 10th up on my previous course, braking almost at the 50 metre ball on the front side. They're right down to second, get it all turned in. Just touch the curb there. You could do without touching that curb, but it's not a big deal if you do. Same with that inside curb, you could do without touching it, but it's more important to get a nice sweet line here to bring you left, so you can do full throttle through here normally in the wet. You can see on the left hand side, they're not quite full throttle, just a little ease on the apex, hard on the throttle on the exit. You could definitely take a bit more speed through there than I did that lap. And coming down and braking just as you get to the curb on the left hand side there, right down to first gear normally, yep. Get it all turned in. And just be patient. Wait, still braking halfway into this corner. Wait, still on the throttle. Now I'm starting to get on the throttle. So you've got to be so patient in that corner. Very careful in the wet course. I do get lots and lots of oversteer. Look at that, lots of drifting. Yeah, it's very tricky not to do that in the wet. And a little touch of brakes there just to get the cars turning hard on the throttle on the exit. Bit of oversteer there, but I got away with that. And again, could probably take a bit more speed through there as well. Out through the gears now, down through into P1. And you brake just as you get to the 50 metre ball. No, the end of the curb, sorry, on the left hand side here. quickly flick it down to 5th, get it all turned in. You can see the car just drifted slightly there, just knocked me off my apex, which also pushed me wide right off the track. In fact, bouncing over the curb is not the best way around that corner for sure. And as I said at the time, that lost me at least a 10th, I would imagine. I mean, it was still good, but I definitely could do better. There's a lot of time to be had in that corner. Braking just after the 50 metre ball on the left-hand side there, right down to 2nd gear, get it all turned in. This was much, much better. Look at that, just nicking the curb there. Could have kept turning right for a little bit longer through here, which would have allowed me to get a better line through here. And I could have stayed on the throttle a little bit earlier, but pushed me, as it happens, pushed me right out all over the curb. Car fishtailing all around, not ideal. Just as you get to the curb on the left-hand side as your braking point there, right down to 2nd gear, all turned in, clip the curb the inside, get on the power as early as you can, straight in the wheel as well. Doesn't matter about the outside curb, it doesn't really cost you any time to use that, so use it if you feel necessary. And I have the 2nd up at this point, I was, of course, absolutely flat this next corner here. And using the rest of my curves, of course, down this very long back straight. And we'll be full throttle for a while now, down through Francorchamps. And all I'm doing now is thinking, right, I'm half a second up, don't throw away in the final corner, in the final chicane, don't outbrake yourself there. But equally, don't lose half a second, you know, or not half a second, don't lose a few tenths there. You know, I've already done one lap, I know roughly where to brake, so I'll probably brake a little bit later than that, but just be cautious on the brake pedal, basically, is what I'm thinking all the way down here. Just be cautious on the brake pedal. Brake late, but don't outbrake yourself, that's for sure. So I think approaching the 100 metre board, yep. Braking, see on the left side, they're easing off the brakes all the time, easing off, easing off, easing off. Now I can get it turned in. And there we go, that's pretty sweet in the end. Pretty much nailed my apex. Squirt the throttle between them. Bit of brake there just to try and get it turned in, which I managed to do nicely. Avoid the curb on the outside if you can, because I believe it does cost you time, but not too much. You can touch it a bit there like I did, but getting off it as quick as I can. Almost full throttle. Now we're finally full throttle for the front line then. And of course, this was my best time, getting ready to go straight to leave from my in lap, and there we are. That was me 6.5 tenths up then. So P3 on the grid then, and should be a good race tomorrow. Spa usually produces a good one, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.